Today we have a new headset from Corsair, the Void Pro RGB, which, yes, has RGB, and the only reason I can think of why is probably this.
And of course, it's Corsair, so there's RGB.
And then I decided to do something different with this review, and that was compare my current v-moda headset, that is a v-moda boompro mic plugged directly into a pair of crossfade LPs, and also pit that against Cougar's Immersa Pro headset as well. And the results are going to be different to a typical headphone review. Tech Yes City, the place to live, the place to stay, and the place to get an RGB gaming headset apparently. Well, Corsair have done it. They've implemented RGB lighting on a pair of speakers that rests on your head. Though it is subtle and not very in-your-face bling bling, which I do give them credit for. And in this particular model, it is rated for up to 12 meters of range and 16 hours of battery life. In practice on these wireless headsets, I got 10 meters of range in my house and 12 hours of battery life while gaming. So pretty lengthy, and the comfort of this headset was good. Very good to the point where you could game on it for hours and hours and not notice that you're wearing them with the weight of 380 grams. The ear cups are also removable and have a breathable material, so your ears sweat less, and of course the inner diameter of the speakers is 50 millimeters, so it will fit ears of small to medium range. However, contrast that to our friends the Cougar Immersa Pro. They have a 100 millimeter ear cups and will fit very large ears with an inner diameter of 63 millimeters, and they're also extremely comfortable as well, weighing in at 350 grams. Though of course, what about that sound quality? Let's start off with a non-gaming headset for reference. That is my crossfade LPs from v-moda. Anyone who's tried these headphones will know that they are a solid can. They are very revealing, especially for a mid-range speaker, and their strong point is quite simply their lower and mid-range sound detail, which is good in my opinion for voice work and easy listening. The attached v-moda microphone is also excellent for a $30 add-on, which is what makes this headphone essentially now a headset. The Void Pro RGB, however, has emulated 7.1 Dolby Surround that turns on if you hold the volume button for 2 seconds. It is off by default, though when turned on it does make a very cool experience for RGB players and has the pure direct flat EQ straight out of the box, as opposed to the v-modas 2.0 analog from the source. And honestly, I thought that the software emulation with 7.1 Dolby Surround turned off definitely added to the 3D imaging quite considerably, especially for a closed back headset. It was one of the only times that a software implementation has helped with exaggerating sounds, either higher or lower, within a headphone's dynamic range. What this means is that these will do a very good job for positioning enemies in games. Though what about the bass? The bass, well, it was quite tight and strong, although sub-bass was quite weak and the mids seemed to have a decent presence too, though voices were a little recessed, though the best point was that the treble was not in any way invasive and was quite underpowered in my opinion, compared to the mids and lows, which is a really good thing for me personally since I like to use gear like this for hours on end. An edgy treble does tend to wear my ears down very quickly. And overall though, of course, the v-modas did reveal more detail in music. However, the Void Pros did perform really well in CSGO and footsteps were incredibly easy to hear. Positioning was quite simply superb on this headset, dare I even say better than the v-modas. And at an asking price of $99 USD, I can't really fault the sound too much, especially since it comes with a mic and is wireless. Oh, and don't forget that RGB too. Next up on the jury block was the Cougar Immersa Pro, and straight away from the get-go I could notice that signature boost in treble, and upon installing the software it did have an FPS V-shaped EQ applied. However, after turning it to balance mode, the bright and edgy sound was still present, and this is quite common in gaming headsets, and it is there to make people think that the speaker has more clarity than it actually does. And honestly, after you train your ears to hear this, you do get over it quite quickly. The best remedy, of course, is to EQ this treble out in software, though a speaker's sound signature will always remain regardless. Though the Immersa Pro sub-bass was definitely there if you like your headphones to shake you, which I personally do like, and bass was present, though it was a loose type of bass, good for listening to hip-hop, though not good for rock in my opinion, and overall the sound was decent, though not as good as the Void Pro RGB or the v-modas. The Immersa also has its own 7.1 emulation called X-Ear Surround. However, unlike the Void, this sounded quite bad. and just added a massive reverb effect to the sound, which didn't help me in gaming at all. Though after EQing the headphones and using them in CSGO, for example, fragging was okay, but again, not as good as the v-modas or the Void Pro. And I'll quickly point something out, and that is that although it might seem I'm being a little bit harsh on both these headsets, I am, keep in mind, comparing them against a mid-range audiophile can. So if you want something that sounds much better than a $10 eBay can, for example, that sounds like someone's chucked a dooner over it, then you will be happy with either of these options. There is no distortion, music sounds good on both, clarity is decent, though I'm just going a bit anal retentive to give people who are looking for a specific sound a good idea of what to expect if they were to purchase either of these headsets. Moving on, however, both have conveniently located mics. The Void Pro's mic just flips up and down, and when flipped up, it will automatically mute itself and is quite sturdy. The Cougar Immersa's mic is retractable, and both have lighting to indicate when the mic is muted or switched on, which is good to see that the lighting serves a purpose rather than just cosmetics. Though how do these mics sound? Let's roll those tests. Peter Pepper packed a pack of pickled peppers and then flat packed them into a box. However, this wasn't sufficient enough, so he packed them in a pipe and smoked them. Peter Pepper then decided his flat packing wasn't quite sufficient to sell from his home, so he went to the market, and unfortunately no one bought the peppers there either, so he then decided to put them in the pipe and smoke them. Peter Pepper then had one last final attempt to salvage himself, and it was at this stage he said, look, I'm going to pack the peppers inside the pipe and then sell the pipe. And this is when he tasted success. So it's time that we talk about gaming headsets and whether they are worth it or not. And of course, what to look out for. Now for sound quality, the v-modas reveal more sound detail than both these headsets on display. Most audiophile engineered cans will and should, as they are generally more expensive, though they are not as comfortable as the other two, and after 2 hours of use my ears do get a little bit sore due to the tight clamping of the v-modas. And if a gaming headset is going to get it right in any one department, I think they should get it right when it comes to comfort. So kudos to both Corsair and Cougar for nailing this department. Utility was also another big plus. Easy controls for volume and mic muting, and in the case of the Corsair headset, it was wireless too. Very big plus if you are like me and need to keep those noise levels down, but need mobility when you are testing and benchmarking late at night. And another plus of both these headsets is that they have their own ADC and DAC on board, their built-in USB controllers. So if you have a laptop, for example, and have some extremely high levels of noise from the onboard audio ports, then the included USB DAC amp will do a decent job of giving you better audio and fixing your problems almost immediately. So at $99, the Void Pro RGB headset from Corsair has a comfortable, very easy to listen to sound signature that is great for gaming, and I will definitely be using this when I need to move around and keep noise down. They are definitely a keeper. And as for the Cougar Immersa Pro, the biggest thing this has going for it is its big ear cups and comfort. However, it does look a bit wacky on your head, and I wouldn't dare wear it outside unless I was going to a Frankenstein cosplay party. Though the Immersa Pro at $89 USD has a sound signature that was bright and loose, one that I don't prefer personally, though the hip-hop lovers would probably like it, and at 99 Australian dollars with GST, it actually is a very decent price if you're in Australia and looking for something that will game well and is comfortable. So Cougar are doing a pretty good job of getting prices right for Aussies. I actually think it's even better than it is in the States in triple P terms. However, when we contrast that to the Corsair Void Pro RGB, the pricing was very off for Aussies. It was 99 USD, but when I checked the spec sheet, it said 219 Australian dollars. I was really left dumbfounded here. That is just simply too much of a difference. If you guys are in Australia and you want to buy the Corsair Pro RGB Void, just go to Amazon and buy it, and you'll probably end up saving around $80, even shipped to your door. And also some last minute things before I get on out of here. On the Void, you get a wireless USB stick for the audio and a cable to charge the headphones themselves. The included Q software allows you to change the RGB lighting and also EQ the sound too. And for the Immersa Pro, you get that option as well. The Immersa also has the option to be plugged into a smartphone too, so it does have quite a bit of utility at its disposal. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed today's comparison/review, then be sure to hit that like button and let me know in the comment section below what speakers are you currently using on your desk or on your ears. Love reading your comments as always. And also my Vegas sample just rocked up too, so I'm gonna get on out of here and start testing that. And I'll catch you guys in another tech video very soon. Peace out for now. Bye. Today we have a new headset from Corsair, the Void RGB, the Void Pro RGB, the Void Pro RGB, Void. An inner diameter with an inner diameter. Can you stop typing so loud too? That's right.